ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਰਹਿ ਪਏ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਰਹਿ ਪਏ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਰਹਿ ਪਏ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਰੱਖ ਲੈ ਉਹ ਦੀਨ ਦਇਆ ਪਰਮਤ ਬਾਰਿਆ ਪਰਮਤ ਬਾਰਿਆ ਪਰਮਤ ਬਾਰਿਆ ਪਰਮਤ ਬਾਰਿਆ ਮੇਲ ਲੈ ਮੇਲ ਲੈ ਹੋ ਦਇਆ ਸਾਗਰ ਸੰਸਾਰਿਆ ਸਾਗਰ ਸੰਸਾਰਿਆ ਸਾਗਰ ਸੰਸਾਰਿਆ ਮੇਲ ਲਿਓ ਦਇਆ ਮੇਲ ਲਿਓ ਦਇਆ ਰਹਿ ਪੈ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਰਹਿ ਪੈ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਰਹਿ ਪੈ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਰਹਿ ਪੈ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਰਹਿ ਪੈ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਰਹਿ ਪੈ ਦੁਆਰਿਆ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀਓ, ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਵਾ ਰਹੇ ਸਨ। ਸਿੱਖ ਪੰਥ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਸਿੱਧ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਜਥਾ ਸਤਿਕਾਰਯੋਗ ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ਾਨ ਜੀ, ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਜਥੇ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਆਓ ਹੁਣ ਅਗਲਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਭਾ ਦੇ ਜਨਰਲ ਸੈਕਟਰੀ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਮਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਬੁੱਟਰ ਜੀ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਪਾਸੋਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਅਤੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰੋ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। I would like to welcome our guests, Jeremy Corbin and Tan Desi, Ricky Gill, who is the candidate from Hornchurch, and Nina Gill. And I have been told that John McDonnell on his way at the moment, and I did hear that Seema was coming too. So I welcome all of them, and I would like to ask our President, Sardar Gurmel Singh Ji Mali, to welcome all our guests to Singh Sabha. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਦਸਾਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੋਤ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਨਾਜ਼ਰ ਪ੍ਰਤੱਖ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਗੋਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੁੜ ਬੈਠੀ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ I like to welcome behalf of Sri Guru Singh Sabha, Germany More, labor leader, Germany Corbin, labor leader, and MEP Nina Gill, and Sade new candidate from Slough, Desi Saab, Tan Desi Ji. So we like to welcome all of you, Sri Guru Singh Sabha. Sri Guru Singh Sabha is the biggest institute in the UK and Europe. And we got 4 boroughs, near about 100,000 Sikhs. We are living in these 4 boroughs, and they're all attached with Sri Guru Singh Sabha. And we got a history in the Europe. Whatever happened outside India, we always discuss issue as a human base, and we welcome all the parties. Sri Guru Singh Sabha, it doesn't matter it belongs to which party, but we welcome today Jeremy Corbin as a labor leader, and we are glad to see all the party supporter as well. So I can only say is blessing of Guru. Whoever comes and ask and have blessing from Guru Granth Sahib Ji, he always have a success in the national wise. So again, we like to welcome again from the Sri Guru Singh Sabha all of you. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Now, I would like to invite Nina Gill, who is MEP. She has been MEP for a long time from West Midlands. And I remember whenever we needed her for human rights work, she has been very helpful. So I like to invite her to introduce Jeremy Corbyn and briefly tell us about Germany as well. Nina Gill. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਮੈਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ-ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਨੋਟਿਸ ਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਆਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਅੱਗੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਰਟਿਕੂਲਰਲੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰਮੇਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮੱਲੀ ਤੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਦ ਸੈਕਟਰੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਬੁੱਟਰ thank you very much I've just started I'm going to speak in English to say I really want to give a big thank you to the committee of this Gurdwara who've helped us to organize this visit at a very, very short notice. And I particularly want to thank them for the opportunity to meet the Sangat. And I know there's lots of ladies sitting in the back. And, you know, it's a real privilege and an honor to be here. I have a wonderful task today because I'm here as chair of Sikhs for Labour. Sikhs for Labour have been going since 2014, and I have two of my committee members here with me, Jasveer Singh and Gurinder Singh Josen, and along with other members, we've been working to make sure that there's a real conduit between the Sikh community and the leadership of the Labour Party. And I am really proud and also, if I may say so, impressed with the way the leadership under Jeremy have interacted and engaged with us over the last few years. I mean, we have had a number of meetings with the shadow cabinet, but more importantly, we had the first ever roundtable that represented all the Sikh organizations in UK, and we had that thanks to Jeremy in the cabinet room, where a number of key shadow cabinet ministers, Emily Thornberry, as well as John McDonnell, and other key members of the cabinet all attended. This is the first time that has ever happened that we've had this level of engagement. And I want to thank you, Jeremy. Okay. Okay. Hanji. Hanji. Nahin ji. Hanji, this is such the gal kar rahe hain. So all I want to try and say is that we have had an opportunity to host Gurpurb in the shadow cabinet rooms, as well as celebrating the 350th birthday of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So there's been a high level of engagement, and what I'm really pleased about is that the shadow cabinet and Jeremy have listened to our requests and have raised those issues. Firstly, our big demand was increasing the representation of Sikh representation in Westminster. And I'm pleased to say we now have 6 candidates who are Sikhs. And I'm particularly pleased to say we have 2 of them with us today. Tanmanjit Singh Tesi, who's our candidate, who will be the next MP for Slough, and also Rocky Gill in Hornchurch and Upminster, who we will do our best to make you the MP there as well. So it's a really great step forward, but we need to deal with this representation issue in many more concrete ways, and we have also 2 Sikh candidates in my constituency of West Midlands, Preet Kaur Gill in Edgbaston, and Kuldeep Singh Sahota in Telford. And Sikhs for Labour will be working with them to make sure we have success there as well. What is also, I think, important for all the Sangat to note is that we were successful in getting number of our demands and requests into what will be, I hope, the BAME manifesto coming out soon. And the BAME manifesto, which is the Black Asian Minority Ethnic manifesto, will make reference to the need for proper labeling of food, especially meat, in terms of halal. That is really important to the Sikh community, as well as making reference to having a separate census box when we're looking at hate crime. Unfortunately, Jeremy, since the European referendum, we've seen a spike in hate crime. And I know very many Sikhs, because of our Dastar looking different, are victims of this hate crime, and it's important we have those. Now, there are very many other things, and I won't go through them all, but particularly many people here recognize the fact that you have promised an inquiry into 1984, which is in the main manifesto. And I think these are all welcome steps forward, that we are really proud to be standing here and honoring you and inviting you into the holiest shrine for Sikhs, the Sikh Gurdwara, the Darbar. And I would like to finally sum up to say, I know you have the copy of the manifesto, but what that manifesto shows is that there is a lot more things for our community in there, not just issues that are about particularly Sikh community, but in terms of social care. We hear all around us there's a big demand within our aging community for social care, and this is really well pointed out in our manifesto. And I think if you compare this to what has come out on the Tory manifesto, which is really against the interests of the many, whereas we are the party that's going to be fighting for the many. So I have a great honour and privilege to invite Right Honourable Jeremy Corbyn to say a few words to the Sangat here. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Nina, thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me here today. It's a great honour to be invited into the Gurdwara, and it's a great honour to meet all of you here today. And thank you for everything you just said. And I think we should say a special thank you to you, because Nina has come here today, especially from Strasbourg, in order to be with us today to speak for Sikhs for Labour, which she's absolutely brilliant chair of. Nina, thank you very, very much for everything that you do. To me, coming to a Gurdwara is a great honour and a privilege, and I want to thank you for the work that you do in this Gurdwara and all the others around the country in providing food for everybody, a place of shelter, a place of support, and a place where the hungry can get some food, where the homeless can get some support and solace, whether they follow the Sikh religion or any other faith or any other religion. It's that reaching out which is so very, very important in our society, and something that I'm utterly determined to make a reality of in life as a whole. We have many, many issues to deal with in this election, and the election has come perhaps more quickly than any of us expected. And so this manifesto, I'm very proud of it, has been put together in 2 weeks. Essentially, we've done 3 years' work in 2 weeks, and those that have written it have put in an enormous amount of effort into it, including the research that goes behind it. And it's a manifesto that, yes, reflects the policy decisions of the Labour Party conference and many of the unions that are affiliated to our party, and of course the views of the members of the party and the way that they put them forward. But it's also the representations from hundreds of different organisations that have sent us their views and opinions on different aspects of policy. But it's also formed by discussions. And I was very pleased on becoming leader of the party to be given the opportunity to reach out to all communities. And the Sikh Round Table that Nina was talking of was a wonderful occasion for me. It was quite a long meeting. It was interspersed with a few votes in the House, and so that's what kept me fit and continues to keep me fit, running up and down those stairs. But it was also a very serious discussion about the representation of the community, and I'm very, very pleased that here today we're welcoming, I don't prefer to call them candidates, I prefer to call them the next MP. So can we say thank you and welcome to the next MP for Slough, the next MP for Hornchurch, the next MP is not here today for Telford, and of course for Edgbaston. And I'm very proud of them being selected as candidates and the contribution they will make to the next Parliament in this country. I put specifically in the manifesto the question of an inquiry into 1984 at Amritsar. I was in Parliament at the time, and many MPs raised many issues and concerns there, and many have raised them on many occasions since then. John McDonnell, John Speller, Tom Watson, many others have continually raised those issues in Parliament, and this is our opportunity in this manifesto to elect a government that is absolutely serious about uncovering the truth of what went on there on that terrible occasion. And so I'm proud that our manifesto will deliver that. What I'm also very proud of is the manifesto and the diversity program we'll be releasing shortly during this election campaign about recognizing the multicultural nature of our society, the importance of all faiths being recognized, and the importance of our children growing up understanding the multiplicity of faiths in Britain. I represent, as you all know, Islington North constituency, and I'm very, very proud to represent that area. I'm very proud that there are 70 different languages spoken in my constituency. And my education is formed by my relationship with my community. And that relationship is a very strong one, and it's helped me a great deal to understand issues of the way people make an incredible contribution to our society, and the way young people must be given those real opportunities for the future. And also the dangers of far-right racism on the rise across Europe, and the danger of xenophobia and racism attacks in Britain itself. And as was pointed out quite correctly, there was a spike in hate crime after the EU referendum. And there's only one answer to a rise in hate crime. You get together. We all get together. We all get together to condemn it and support each other. Because if you walk by on the other side while one community is being vilified, and it goes on, you will find at the end of it, there's nobody left to support you. We support each other. An attack on a Gurdwara, an attack on a synagogue, an attack on a mosque is an attack on all of us. And we must always remember the importance of doing things together. And we have to also be sure that all our young people have equal chances in life. And there are many things in this manifesto that I'm very proud of. One of them is the promise that every child in every primary school in every part of England will get a free school meal under a Labour government. They will get that because we don't think children should be hungry, and we'll get that because children who are properly fed are able to learn properly. I don't want the children of the poor not being fed properly, not achieving in school, and not making their contribution to our lives and our community in the long run. These are the fundamental principles behind what we do. And there are many other things in the manifesto, but I'll just say one other. The issue of our care for the elderly. You as a community have a wonderful record of supporting each other, caring for all within our society, and caring for all in your community. Those are principles that actually we all share. That's why we have a National Health Service, the principle we all care for each other. But unfortunately, for many elderly, it doesn't apply. They're isolated, they're alone, and there's more than 1 million not getting the care and support that they need. There are thousands at any one moment waiting to leave hospital, but they've nowhere to go. That's a waste of hospital resources. It's awful and unfair for the individual. So we will make sure there is a proper care service for the whole country for everybody, and I'm very determined to achieve that. So this election gives us an opportunity to do things very differently. It also gives us a chance as a party, for all of us, every single one of the 500,000 and more of us, to go out there and give that message of what Britain could be like with a Labour government as opposed to what we've got on offer at the moment, where those that have great riches pay towards the good of the rest of us, and the rest of us contribute to our society that our children may lead better lives for all. But it's also about our party. Our party has members of all faiths and none, has people from every possible country and ethnic background, and I think it's important they all get good representation within the party. So I'm very proud of the seat candidates we've got. I'm very proud of all the other candidates we've got. I want to see that process grow and continue. More councillors, more representation, and a party that is totally rooted in all of our communities. That gives us the strength to carry our message through. And elect a government that does genuinely work for the many, not the few. And a government that does reach out for peace, justice, and human rights around the world. You quite rightly thanked and praised Nina for the work she's done on human rights around the world. I've been involved in many human rights issues and campaigns in my lifetime, in the United Nations Human Rights Council and many other organizations. With the Labour government, you can be rest assured that we will take up issues of human rights abuses anywhere we believe they're happening, and we will not be pushed aside and ignored because somebody thinks somebody is too powerful. Nobody is ever too powerful to be held to account when human rights abuses take place. You'll have a government that will stand up for human rights and justice around the world. On this campaign, we have 3 weeks to go. 3 weeks to get a message across, a message of hope, a message of care for the older people, security for those that don't have it, and opportunities for all of our young people. And the best news I've had today is that since the election was announced, 2 million more people have registered to vote than were on the register before this election started. The vast majority of those are young people, many of them under 25. Why? Because they want to see something different and better in our society. Let's do it for them. Let's do it for everybody else. Let's do it for your community. But above all, let's do it because we believe it and we'll do it together. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Yarmini. Thank you for coming here and paying respect to our Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And I also like to say that we have another key member of our community here, Dr. Onkar Singh Sahota, who unites communities, who gets them together to work for the nation. And he has been very helpful. He is a member of the GLA and has been very supportive to the Gurdwara. So on that note, I'd like to ask Tanmanjeet Singh Tesi. We call him Tan, so people can understand as well. And he is a young man born in this country, born in Southall, and then the family moved to Gravesend. And I have seen him working very hard. He has been a mayor of Grafsham and also a councillor. He is still a councillor, and he is working very hard for the community there. So I like to invite him. He is a candidate from Southall. I would say future MP. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji.
ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਰਸਨਾ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਕਰੋ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਗੁਸਤਾਖੀ ਮਾਫ, ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਚੰਦ ਅਲਫਾਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗਾ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸੁਨੇਹਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਵੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ। So first of all, I'd like to beg your forgiveness because I'd like to say a few words in English rather than in Punjabi today, as those of you who are more accustomed to listening to my speeches will know. But first of all, I'd like to say that it is a great honor when the national leader of any political party comes to a Gurdwara. And it is a great honor for the Sikh community, but in particular for the community within Southall. And as has been already outlined, we are extremely grateful to Sir Gurmel Singh Ji Malli, who's the president, as well as the entire committee of Sri Guru Singh Sabha Southall, who have allowed us the opportunity to express our opinions, and also have allowed our national leader and the rest of us to actually communicate the message to the wider Sangat. But I think it's important to say at this point that presence is one thing, policies are completely another. And it gives me great pleasure, while I'm honored and I'm proud to be a Sikh, I'm also proud to be a Labour member, a Labour activist, and a Labour candidate. Because many of our values, Labour values, are aligned directly to the Sikhi values of those of the Sikh faith. Whether it's equality, whether it's social justice, whether it's trying to serve the many and not the few. Our Labour the strap line for this election, the message, is very similar to the values within Sikhi. Because as many of you will realize, when Guru Nanak Dev Ji was given 20 rupees by his father to go and set up a business, to look after himself and his family, he went and set up a langar, a free community kitchen, which was there to serve the many, rather than just himself or his family. And so often in politics it is said that, oh, all politicians are the same, we can't trust anybody. Well, look, you're always asking for somebody with honesty and with integrity. And I would suggest that there are very few people in public life who have the record of our leader. Somebody who has always stood up for human rights, something, whatever he's believed in. And I think that is important, as you cast your vote, that you remember that. And with regards to the Sikh community, I'd like to actually just put out to yourself his statement in 1984, which I managed to get from the internet. And at that point in time, this is what he said: I'm very concerned at the reports from India of the situation in the Punjab. The desecration of the Golden Temple at Amritsar is appalling, and the perpetrators of this vandalism must be condemned. That was what he said in 1984. And what has he done today? After significant pressure from the Sikh community, from the various Sikh organizations, from the Sikh Council UK, from the Sikh Network, the Sikh Federation UK, from the network of Sikh organizations, from Sikhs for Labour, through the Round Table, and many other pressure from the various Gurdwaras, they wanted an independent inquiry into the extent of the then Thatcher government's involvement in the 1984 attack. And believe me, it is something when a party includes that within their national manifesto, not in a small footnote, in a small subtext somewhere in a small document, but in the main manifesto itself. And that's where the Labour Party stands. While others have actually eluded the subject or have tried to brush it under the carpet, our party has tackled it head on. So please remember that. And when it comes to Sikh representation, those various Sikh organizations that I was referring to earlier, they said, why do we not even have one Sikh MP? We want greater representation. What has the Labour Party done? After significant pressure, and after, I know, the good work, not just of the organizations, but also of our leader, our deputy leader, Tom Watson, our shadow chancellor, John McDonnell, John Speller, Pat McFadden, even the retiring MP Rob Maris, Nina Gill, so many other parliamentarians, they put that to the party and look at the excellent list of candidates that we have. We could be electing the first ever Sikh woman to Parliament. I'm referring to Preet Kaur Shergill, who's standing from Birmingham Edgbaston. We could be electing the first ever turban Sikh into Parliament. I'm referring to Kuldeep Singh Sahota, who's standing from Telford, who's a former council leader there. And obviously, as Bhutto Saab explained earlier, the General Secretary, that I'm the candidate for Slough. Also, we've got some superb candidates. We've got Rocky Gill here, we've got Manjinder Singh Kang, and also Bali Singh. That's the difference between the Labour Party and the other parties. You just look at the representation that is being given to the Sikh community. Also, if we look at the wider issues in terms of tackling some of the smaller issues that were put forward in terms of the star, in terms of what's happening within Europe, within human rights, etc., and the problems around the turban and the wearing of the stars for young children, that has also been taken up by the party. And I think it's superb that the party has taken on these things and is actually actively fighting for yourselves. So please remember that when you decide which way you're going to be casting your vote. Sangat ji, galan ta kai karwaniyan, there's several things to say, but I would like to beg your forgiveness at this point, and if I've said anything untoward je kuch galat tak ditta howe ta das khema da jachak hai, par eh chona da sama hai, je hon tusi chona di gal hon na karoge, we don't talk about election and the policies at this point in time, then when will we speak about them? But with those few words, I'll take your leave. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.
Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh. Now I would like to request Dr. Ankar Singh Sahota say a few words. I'm also speaking in English, so the English speaking guest.